Hello everybody, welcome back to Naked on Europa. So I'm just setting up a couple of projectors here. I thought we'd just put the projectors on so we can have a look at what we've got to build and make a decision whether or not to build them here or down on Mars. And I can't see anything particularly difficult about them. I don't know whether there might be reactors or anything inside them. Don't think there will be. I mean, there's no real way of knowing, is there? That might be a reactor. The reason I'm thinking, obviously I don't have any stone here, so I can't make gravel. I do have a very, very, very small amount that I got from somewhere. Can't remember where we got it from. Just have a look, actually. No. Oh, 16. 16 gravel. So to make, where are we? What am I looking for? Reactor components. Yeah. To make reactor components you need gravel. 6.67 per component. And even a small grid one. That's a large reactor. I think, was that a large one in there? It kind of looked like that, but even a small one anyway. We're going to require 20 gravel, and I don't have 20 gravel, I have 16 gravel, so I can't make the reactor. The other option is to make them here and then just finish them off when I get to Mars. But then we're going to have to be able to carry them. I have to think about that. Right, in the meantime, a bigger issue is we need to be able to connect this to our fuel storage, because we've got this thing over here making hydrogen. The idea was to recharge ships. And I don't currently have anywhere to connect to recharge ships. And the back end here has absolutely no piping in it whatsoever. So how can we do that? We could put a connector in on the side here, but it's going to stick out, which will look ugly. We could maybe lose the center thruster here and actually have like a proboscis that pokes out, but I don't really like that idea much at all. We do have a connection on top of this vent here. That's just going to look pretty ugly, I think. Problems. It would have been so much easier to have built it bigger, no doubt about it. Okay, so the only thing I can come up with is we'll lose these two thrusters on the inside. It doesn't have to be both, but for symmetry purposes. And we'll put a connector in there. trying to remember what's in front of that. Whether or not we could get it on a piston. We don't need it on a piston, but I just thought for funsies we could do that. Let's check the right colour to start with. And
energy
that way.
low.
And as I say, we don't need one here as well, but just for symmetry, aesthetic purposes, I'll stick one in there as well. Get some energy while we're here. Yeah, it does kind of ruin the setup that I had, and to be fair, we probably need push more than we need stop. But I can't think of any other convenient way, at least, of putting connectors in. At least this way we'll be able to just back up. And as long as we get the connectors at roughly the right height, walk in and out the door. So I'll just call that one port. Nope, close. Starboard. I don't think we need to change anything else on that. That one's port. So the only other thing we need to do then is to try to find some way of connecting that into our refuel base. So I think I'm going to have to do is fly over there and then park and then try and figure out what the height is. So unlock. Make sure we're not going to crash into anything. Push is a bit slow. We could maybe benefit from a bit more push, but I will have two other thrusters, so that's going to kind of double our push. Get an idea of what height we're working on here. Need a landing pad here, mightn't we? So if I do it so that we bring... Do those connectors line up? No. Yeah, I think that'll work. Bring the connector 90 degrees out, bring it forwards, and then we'll just back in to dock. Okay, so for now, just need to save the hydrogen. Without breaking anything. Bit on the wonk, but good enough for now. You can leave it exposed like that for now. Now I'm going to be careful of the thrusters burning things here, but I think maybe one more just to get it away from the building. connector. And something to get up there on. Just about. Actually, I think we might as well do it this way. As well leave a ramp there for aesthetics and things. What should we call that? Connector, fuel, refueler. That'll do. Okay, let's connect up to that. That'll give us the height that I need to build some kind of a landing pad. We're still on a wonk here, so just forwards a little bit. And try and level myself off, straighten up a bit. Pretty good. Can't see. Still can't see. There we go. So, connector port. Lock. What have we got? Tanks. 2 hydrogen tanks. Oh, my shift key playing up again. Hydro tanks, okay. And then we should be able to stockpile those. Yeah, filling up nicely. Okay, so we'll put those on here. What am I looking for? Tanks. There we go. And I'm gonna put those. Where am I gonna put those? Yeah, maybe there. I'll stockpile. And oh, so many connectors. Starboard connector. Clock. And then we're going to need a group for the batteries as well. I'm just calling it the ship for now. So if you want, you guys are welcome to suggest some kind of a name. I'm useless at naming things, as you probably noticed. Right, batteries, Stratos, no. Batteries. What are we looking for? Ship batteries. switch on off on there. Drill lock mag plate. Must be that one. I'm just going to put that on there in case we need it. We'll do the lights and everything shortly, but we are full of hydrogen, so you can switch stockpile off. And let's see if we can just quickly throw together some kind of a pad, otherwise I'm never going to be able to get back in. Right, let's get some steel. Ooh, this looks empty now, doesn't it? Actually, before we do that, I think I'll take a couple of those just in case. Maybe a couple of those. Not sure what I'm going to use yet. It does look a bit unrealistic just hanging like that, doesn't it? Okay, so we don't know what we're doing with landing gear yet. That's the other issue. I think the landing gear are going to have to be recessed. The front one is going to be a problem because I've only got the one thickness for the floor. So we'll have to work that one out. And these ones I think are going to have to go in here. Because they're 2 blocks high, it's going to make it impossible to get in the door if I drop 2 blocks. So I need them to be on that level there, so that we've only got 1 block. Which is probably still too high, but I can work with that. Let me just build a very quick, somewhere around there. Right, I'm going to just fill in the rest of these. I might put another supporting bar in the middle, if we've got a middle. We're out of stuff. Yeah, leave those with me. I'll bring you back after I've done some welding. And welcome back, everybody. So I've struggled a bit with these landing gears. They kind of don't give you much option in terms of what you can have. So what I've ended up doing is having to take 3 blocks out here, which is kind of not a good idea. If you put the landing gear on something, not explosive necessarily, but something delicate, cargo boxes and engines and things, if you land heavily, it destroys them. So we're going to have to be very careful how we land. But I can't think of any other way of doing it. I did try experimenting with maybe just using a mag plate and lowering that on kind of arms, but that wasn't very effective either. So I've started this side, and we just need to put a landing gear on here, but as you can see, we must be slightly low on this side. It's not allowing me to place it. So I've had to make a little temporary ramp thing here so that I can get into the ship, and that's another problem we're going to have to fix, is how to get into the ship. Now it's a block too high. So problems. Anyway, mag plate has gone. We now have a landing gear, which I have no idea which one it is. That one, and we want auto lock off. So we'll be grouping these in the end, but just for now, put it on there. So we want to unlock that. Then I'm going to have to unlock the connector, which is 7. And then we're going to have to try to just very gently lift that side up. And yes, I know we're on a wonk, but hopefully it'll allow me to place this anyway. And I never really know which way round they go. So I kind of put this arm here at the front. I think it's probably backwards. Maybe one of you guys could tell me. I don't know, but who cares? Right, switch auto lock off. That one. This one is going to be starboard. Just so we know. And let's just group those. So, the gear. Okay. And then come back to here. Get rid of that one. And replace it with that one. Okay, so now we should be able to straighten up a little bit. Can't really tell. And lock that, and lock that. Yeah, so as for what I'm going to do to get in and out of the ship, can't really rely on always being able to place these ramps down. So we're going to have to come up with something imaginative there. I was thinking of maybe just putting a piston in the floor under here, but then it would need some kind of a hinge to drop a ramp down. So we could do that maybe with a thing over the like this sheet here, sort of fold it up to that maybe. I think I'm happy with that in general. It's not what you call a travelling base, like a long-term base kind of thing. I'll get the rest of the thrusters welded up and maybe try and figure something out with an access ramp so that we don't have any issues when we get down to Mars. But I think we're off to a very, very good start there.
It's a shame I ran out of paint last night. I have nearly finished this driller. Just need a tiny bit more and I'll have another great ship for sale. That paint should be mixed properly by now. Let's see. Ah yes, still mixing nicely. I hope it's the right color. Shouldn't take too long for the last few blocks. Oh, I'm going to need my lights on for this. Now, I'll start at the front, I think. Yes, that looks nice. Perfect color match, if I say so myself. And I think that's all of it. Looks good. I don't think I missed anything. Right then, let's get her out on display. You never know. Someone might come by and this will be just the perfect ship for them. Easy does it. I don't want to scratch the nice fresh paint before it even dries. Just there, I think. Better switch her off to save the power. My hangar needs fitting with the next project. I better take a trip out and see if I can find something to work on. Maybe I could rebuild this. No, I don't think so. It's too far gone. I'll just keep it for spare parts. I'll take my lifter just in case I can find something salvageable. I wonder if there's anything on the radio? Ah yes, that's nice. What's that little dot down there? That doesn't look like a surface rock. Better take a closer look. Ah yes, it's a small ship. It does look very damaged though. There's not much left of the front. I'd better stop all this clanging. Okay, let's get her back to the yard. There we go, gently does it. Well, she's in pretty bad shape. What a shame. This is going to be salvage only. I'll save the engines if I can, but the rest is components only. Okay, that's enough for one day, I think. Time to get some rest.
Well, hello, welcome back. So, after a lot of messing around, and I mean a lot of messing around, I finished off those thrusters, as you can see. I made this landing pad. I didn't really show you that earlier, so just a basic platform. And yeah, the ramp. It's taken me a very long time and multiple iterations, and I'm still not very happy with it. It's a bit cumbersome. I think we can maybe tidy up the edges there, but that's probably going to have to be what they call blast doors, something that doesn't conflict with the edges. And obviously the inner gubbins is very exposed, but just to show you how it works, oh, I've also put a ladder in so that I can get up to the top, and yeah, that's kind of okay. I put some trim on underneath because I needed to cover up at least some of this hinge, so just thought, why not? So I've put a button in here just in case we end up outside of the ship and the ramp is not deployed, so that seemed like a logical thing to do. So this is our ramp. It required multiple timers. I had to add more timers into the back there because it's not as easy as just toggling, because I need this to extend after this has opened, and then obviously to close it again this has to retract before that closes, so lots and lots of timers. What I've done is I've put a hinge in here just as a converter. It's not used at all, literally just converts to small grid. And then this piston, which doesn't do anything at all, just simply pushes us out into the right position of the door. And then that's the top hinge, that's the bottom hinge, and as you can see, we have a ramp. So obviously I can test that from here. Let me just check that I have definitely, yeah, I have set it up. I need to write on the screen, obviously. I can't show you the ramp closing from inside the ship, clearly. So what I'm going to have to do is just come out here, and then we'll just initiate it from this point. So as you can see, lots of timers. I'm disconnected from the base at the moment because it was really confusing with the timers on the base as well. So we've got 2 timers just to close the ramp. So this one will initiate the retraction of the piston, and then it hands off to that one. So if we just trigger that, you can see it retracts the extension, and then it does foul a little bit just on the ground, but I think we'll be okay with that. It doesn't seem to be damaging anything. And then I've got yet another timer which toggles the power to all of that, so they all have braking torque on. And what I do is, after a certain delay, giving it time to retract, I lock the hinges. So you can see the rotor lock is on and the power is off, because otherwise it just continuously whirs and bangs and makes a noise and things. It would have been really nice to have put some kind of a magnetic plate on there, and I might revisit that at some point just to hold everything still. But for now, as I've spent far too much time on it already, I'm happy with that. Or at least happier with that. It allows us just to walk up without jumping. It comes down to ground level and allows us to get in the ship. So the screen here, I literally just called it ramp. Not very exciting, I know. and I think that was about 7.5, somewhere around there. The colour I left as red, and the alignment was centre. That's about as exciting as I got. So there you go. So I've put a light in there, just for like now it's really dark, and everything else is, well, as you saw it. So yeah, a bit untidy. It folds up and hides a lot of that, which is okay, but I couldn't think of any other way of doing it. I did try bringing the hinge forward and using that hinge for you know, the ramp, but obviously that's one block. Just show you. So that's one block. So if I use a full-size hinge, then it extends level with this, which means I have to put a flat plate on it. I can only get one flight above it, and when you unlock the hinge and it hinges down, it just doesn't come down far enough. It only comes to sort of here. So that was kind of the best. And initially I also designed it folding upwards to cover the hole, so like blocks the door, and that was okay. It didn't really fit as well as this one. The problem is, if it's up, I mean, I might want to get out the door in space without deploying the ramp, and if it's blocking the door, obviously you can't do that. So I figured in the end it was better to tuck it away underneath here. So yeah, far too many man hours went into that, but I think that's okay in the end. The ladders just seem to be, well, stuck on the side. I think long term what I might do is actually move this whole thing one block further forwards to encompass this. I've literally just thought of that, so I haven't really given that much consideration, but I think that's inevitably going to be the best solution, is just to bring the whole row of blocks there forward one block. I don't think it matters about lining up within the cells, they're a completely different entity anyway. So there you go, you're all up to date. Right, I don't know which ship is the best ship to take with us. That's kind of small and convenient, but it is very basic. It is an Atmo ship, which is good down on Mars, which has Atmo. This is obviously a hydrogen ship, which is fine. It gives lots and lots of lift and things, but if we have problems finding ice down there, I don't really want to have to be reliant on a hydrogen driller. So there's that. Anyhow, the hangar proved to be good enough, so I think we can get that welded up. Just grab a load of those. I won't bore you with all the welding, and I still haven't made a decision on these two. The problem I think I'm going to have with those two is if I build them here, even if they're slightly incomplete, I've somehow got to attach them to our ship. And the vast majority of that is just going to be steel plates or, you know, basic components. I think if we take a few special stuff with us, you know, like maybe a bit platinum, gold, silver, that kind of thing, I think that's going to be more than ample. Anyway, let me get this welded up. Bring you back in a second. Alrighty then, so I figured the hangar was obviously big enough in the end, so we might as well just finish that bit off. I really do need to maybe think about some sliding doors or something, but we've kind of finished with the hangar now, at least for the time being. So I'll just finish that bit off. Oh, of course.
Energy low.
Did I not just pick up two? Sure, I just picked up 2 blocks. Oh, it was those ones. Okay. Alrighty, let me just grab some energy. Okay, so after all of that building, actually, let's just see what we've got. Nothing in the assembler. Interesting. That surprises me. That's very surprising. So where's it put it? So we've got iron, cobalt, silver, there's silicon. Let's just try and sort this out into some kind of order, shall we? Nickel, cobalt, and gravel, obviously, silver, gold, platinum, a little bit of magnesium. Yeah, so we're getting pretty short of all of that, so essentially, obviously iron, but we need some nickel, maybe a bit more cobalt. Definitely magnesium, but we could also do with gold and platinum. So I think I'm going to go and do a load of mining, get a load of resources processing. Actually, before I do that, you just go and set this ship to recharge. What's coming on there? Hydrogen engines are definitely switched off. It's very strange. Must just be ambient noises. Right, I'm off to do some mining. I will bring you back in a little bit. Okay, I think that's enough mining for now. Switch that off. Recharge. I've just been and got a load of cobalt. It's not something we use very often, but so in conclusion, you can see the basic refinery on our ship is deciding to steal it. doesn't really matter for things like cobalt, as long as it's not doing gold and things. So the two basic refineries are whirring away there. Commons is still on cobalt. Refinery high grade, we're doing platinum and gold. And then the mid grade is the silver. And if we just look at the ore, for some reason it comes up with the cargo container. The only ore in there is the gravel. I'm thinking that's probably what it's seeing. But in the large cargo container, I've got a little bit of iron that I got when I got the cobalt. So 70k gold, 72k platinum, so nearly 50k because we've already done a load of silver, a lot of cobalt and a tiny bit of iron. So the only thing missing is, apart from uranium obviously, silicon and iron. Iron, obviously we have a mine, and I don't think we're going to need. I mean, we've got nickel there, 10k of nickel. I did get a little bit earlier, so yeah, just the basics. I'm not too worried about the basics because I know we can, if necessary, convert stone. So, right, let's see. It's been a long, long time since I've been in here. So, more gold we've done. Finished capital ship. I think we've pretty much done. Ongoing ice ore mining, yes. Finish hangar, well, maybe. Maybe put some doors on it, but I'm really not worried about that. So, ongoing ice and ore mining, we need to make sure the tanks are filling, or at least have plenty to do to fill. And we'll do the same with the iron. Perhaps some nickel. Not too worried about nickel. And silicon, obviously. So, what do we have? Yeah, silicon is with the magnesium. That's something else we need to get. I'll switch that one back on. I think for now I finished with platinum. I don't think I'm going to need any more of that. And the silver and gold I'm hoping we finished with as well. So silicon and magnesium, and then just try and do something with the iron mine. I won't do that now because we're already processing a load of stuff. Oh, oxygen tank must be full. So, I think we're pretty close to being ready to go. I still haven't made a decision on which ship to take, although I think the Atmo one is probably the sensible choice. And the blueprints, I'm going to take a chance. I think I'm going to take a chance that we can get a little base set up down on Mars, get what we need for those. I don't think it'll take too long, especially if we take a load of ingots and things with us. Alrighty, so I think I'm going to end the episode there. I think we've done enough for one episode, getting all prepped and ready. Next episode, I think it's time to leave Europa, at least temporarily, and we'll get ourselves down to Mars, and we'll find out what's going down there, and make a decision how we're going to appease our nemesis, I think. So we know he's over there somewhere. Got a marker here. Base ops. Oh, over there. So we know he's there. I'd kind of like to be... I mean, we've got to deliver to him. I don't want to be too far away from him. I'm thinking maybe that ice spot there. That might be a good place, somewhere around there. We'll see what it looks like when we get a bit closer. But that should be fairly close to him. And obviously we're going to need ice for replenishing our supplies to get off the planet again. So that's quite a likely target, I think. But for now, thank you very much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care now. Bye bye.